How's it going, guys? Bring Up a Tune here, and welcome to another great game in World of Tanks Xbox One Edition. Today I'm going to be in the Tier 9 American Tank Destroyer, the T95. Sorry, turretless tank destroyer, the T95. This thing is very well known for being magnificently armored, 305 millimeters in the front, 152 millimeters on both sides, and I don't know what the ass end of this thing is, but if you hit the roof of it, chances are you're going to bounce. So, besides being unreasonably slow, this thing was buffed from, I believe it was 17 kilometers to 20 kilometers an hour. If that wasn't the top speed before the buff, then I do apologize for the misinformation. And there's also a weak spot that a lot of people don't know about. The hatch that you're looking at right now, closest to the camera, following the tank, has a very flat side and can be penned no problem. It has roughly 40 millimeters of effective armor on it, and I'm actually going to go to tanks.gg to confirm that, because I do not want to be wrong about my second favorite tank destroyer in the game, other than it's fucking slow. USA. I probably should have had this open before I started commentating. Okay, so the side of I was right. Okay, so that hatch impacted armor, 63.5 millimeters of armor. If you can see the side of that hatch when you're shooting at a T95, an enemy T95, if you shoot that, you only need about I'm gonna say safely 100 millimeters of penetration to pen the side of it. Not the hatch itself, but the flat part that's sticking off of the tank, if you understand that. And if you're gonna shoot the lower plate of a T95, make sure you have at least safely 270 millimeters of penetration on your gun. Otherwise, it's very likely you're going to bounce, because it has flat on. If there's a T95 facing you straight on, no angle up or down whatsoever, it's 250 millimeters thick. However, just a little bit of an angle, okay, maybe a little bit more than a little bit of an angle, but if he angles his tank to the left or the right, then it becomes very, very strong, up to 320 millimeters thick, and just, you're going to have no luck penning that. But if they do turn to the side, be sure to shoot the upper part of the upper plate. Oh, no. Not the side armor, but the angled parts of it on the left and right sides of the tank. If you go on tanks.gg, it will be the blue part above the tracks. Do not shoot the side of the tracks. It will be absorbed, and yeah, you're gonna have a bad time. So, I love this thing. It's got 276 millimeters of penetration on the standard AP rounds, and it also has 320 millimeters of average penetration for the APCR rounds. I'm going to dip into them a little sooner than I expected into this game, but I'll tell you why when we get there. So, my hugest mistake of this game was using that repair kit, and here's why. I was at no risk for taking damage. I was only tracked, and while there was 3 tanks in front of me that could have popped out and probably shot into my lower plate, it wouldn't have been enough to kill me, and I'm going to regret that later in the game. Spoiler alert! So, another kind of a spoiler alert. These guys are kind of potatoes. They really don't know what the fuck they're doing this game, other than lemming training one way and just stopping when they meet opposition, which happens to be what my team loves to do 80% of the time, so good on them. Glad it's finally working out in my favor. But, I can't help but feel that WZ should have penned that shot on my hatch, but I'll take no damage for it, that's fine. If you do not hit the hatches on this tank dead on, there's a very good chance you're going to bounce, because they are very well angled indeed. That Centurion probably could have done better on top of that hill, but he thought it was better to back up towards the water and drown himself. or attempt to drown himself. So sorry. So, seeing as how no one else could finish off that tank, I put another round into him, and I ammo-rack him for a spectacular little explosion there. And now we have another heavy tank behind us to worry about. The Carnarvon. And I was being rushed by a light tank a few seconds back, but fortunately for my team, or fortunately for me, they dealt with it, and it was an LTTB, I believe. That's the only damage I've taken this game, is from this taking a shell in the side from a light tank. Hilarious. So far. I will be further damaged in the game, but just thought that was kind of funny. So there's a tortoise up there, and I see he's, you know, on top of a hill, angling his armor as he should be. I probably could have taken a chance of firing there, but I just wanted to make sure I got a clean shot off instead of missing and reloading for another 15 seconds, so I decided to wait. And because he can angle his armor over that hill quite effectively, if I hit the front of his tank instead of the commander's hatch, there's a chance that I could bounce off. It's about like a 75% chance that I'll go through straight on, and him angling will probably lower that to probably, I don't know, 50-50. So I wanted to up my odds against the tortoise, so I just loaded premium rounds. Because why the fuck not? M103 is doing his best to assist me. I'm really hoping he focus fires the AT-15 and just leaves the tortoise to me, because I know the AT-15 gets great penetration. It's got a great DPM damage gun, even if it is only a 200 and something damage dealing gun every shot, but every few seconds it gets kind of annoying. So put a good round into the tortoise there. He's not really aiming where he should be. He rushes out a little bit for some reason, and then the M103 on my team tracks him instead of damaging him, but I just finish him off. I probably could have shot his upper plate again, no problem, but I wasn't sure if my next shell would finish him off, and it just... all I needed to get was a low roll, and he'd be dead. I did not realize that, so I shot for the tracks, hoping to track him in place for the M103 to finish him off, but didn't need him. Went through, hit the hull, and he's down. So, yeah, shooting APCR rounds at this light tank, or this medium tank, really isn't necessary, and here's going to be the downfall of the game right here. First arty shell misses me. Oh, yeah. Get ammo racked. Well, not ammo racked, but my ammo rack is now damaged, allowing my reload to be an astounding 30 seconds. I'm not going to let this AT-15 get away, because once again he has an annoying gun, and before the arty can fire again, I decide to reposition myself. And seeing as how I have another 20 seconds on the reload, I'm really hoping this Batchat AP does not rush me, or I might take some damage if he plays it smart. However, I just stay close to walls in case he does, so he cannot get behind me, and I actually have a chance at fending him off. Fortunately for me, though, he's just gonna go finish off our arty. Good for him. Or is he? Nope, our arty is smart enough to run away and fuck off, which is great. And I believe... you know, the entire reason I loaded premium wasn't even for the tortoise. I expected the tortoise to fuck off around like C9 to protect the base, but I really loaded it for the Type 4 Heavy, because I know I can't go through him frontally reliably, or if I can, well, you see a Japanese Heavy, you just load premium. That's just what you do. They're very well armored in the front, and right in the front of your turret, go fuck yourself. So once again, back on my 30-minute or 30-minute, that'd be terrible. My 30... the matches don't even last 30 minutes. 30-second reload. Waiting for this Batchat AP to show himself again. And once again, putting my ass end to the arty, so that they cannot put another shell into me and make me even more crippled than I already am. There he is, going on top of the hill. And this is kind of a stroke of luck for him. Like, I aim in the shot, perfectly aimed, and he moves just in time. It looks like it would have flown. Yes, it looks like it would have flown high anyway, but just the fact that he moved right after I fired. Oh, so infuriating. I think the best setup for this tank is if you had a decent crew in it. Coated optics, gun rammer, and vents. Vents to just increase your aiming time and your loading time, or reloading time, by that 5%. Plus brothers in arms, just to increase it even more so. So, that shot into the Batchet AP killed him, obviously. But if I had been 1 second later on firing my gun, I'd be dead. Either the arty would have fucked me over on their team, lit me up like a goddamn Christmas tree, or even with my ass end up against a wall to prevent the Batchet AP from going to my ass end, I would have had no chance. Either he would have penned my sides enough to kill me, or arty would have done it. So our arty tries to scout, and he does, but only by getting himself killed in the process. I finish off the M12 that shotgunned him, getting my 9th kill, thus ensuring the Radley Walters medal. So, I'm just going to speed this up because it is just watching the base cap tick down. And sure enough, while I'm looking at the pretty emblems and descriptions on my tank, the arty reveals himself, and our M103 finishes him off. Good shot by him, very quick reflexes. I didn't know where that other arty would be coming from, but yeah, good on him. I don't know what the arty was accomplishing by rushing out at the very last second. Trying to get a shotgun, maybe? I don't really know. Anyway, but he probably could have just blind fired the base and eventually got damage. But that's just me. That's what I would have done. Until I eventually reset the base cap, and then I probably would have tried spotting some targets or something. But, yeah. Good on him for trying. Anyway, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.